It is my hope that out of this solemn occasion, a better world will emerge out of the blood and carnage of the past. A world founded upon faith and understanding. A world dedicated to the wish for freedom, tolerance, and justice.
The way that I approached Caesar really from the beginning was that he was an outsider in society, in any society. So that he was an ape, a chimpanzee, a baby chimpanzee that was brought up with human beings. So all of his references, all of his early learning was with humans. But of course, he's not just an ape. He's an ape that is the recipient of a drug which is enhancing his intelligence and rapidly forcing an evolution on him. So I played him as a sort of a gifted child in an ape's skin, really. And then as he becomes a teenager, he becomes aware for the first time that of himself, as teenagers do, and the fact that he gets thrown into an ape facility, he becomes aware that he's not in touch with the inner part of his ape. But but also that gives him the ability, by being an outsider, to bring together all of the different ape species in the facility, the orangutans, gorillas and chimpanzees, because he's not judgmental about being a chimpanzee, for instance. So all the time that he's growing and aging, he's also evolving emotionally, cognitively. His skills are becoming sharper. Physically, he's becoming more human-like. In Rise, we see him talking as an ape, maybe 2 or 3 words. In Dawn, he then becomes a father figure and a leader of a society and creates a way, a bigger kind of puts down a bigger structure for societal rules for the apes. And all the time, again, he is evolving and starting to use human speech more. And in this movie, he is up to this point been a very empathetic creature as a result of being able to connect with both humans and apes. But in this movie, we see a big turn in his character because of the events that happen at the beginning, where he suffers personal loss that unimaginable, and he suddenly becomes, as he is growing to be more human-like, he suddenly becomes full of rage and hatred and sets off on a journey of bloodlust to wreak revenge for what's happened. Of course, I mean, the original Planet of the Apes movie, the 1968 version, was, I remember it's seared into my heart and memory, seeing it in the cinema when I was, 10 years old. Amazing performance and an amazing film, and realizing that those images of apes on horseback and humans being caught in nets and the human zoo and all of those things, they were so powerful. But his performance too was remarkable. Interestingly, I looked at documentaries about how the actors played apes and with the makeup that they had then, and I think they had hours and hours of makeup. And yet they had to fight through the makeup because it was so thick on their faces. And of course, using performance capture technology, we don't have that problem because you can be very subtle now with your facial expressions, and the cameras pick up all of that information without you having to fight through. So you can internalize the character a lot more. At the minute, I'm very much enjoying directing Jungle Book, which we're making. So when watching other actors, become characters. So, for instance, it's amazing to see Christian Bale playing Bagheera the panther and seeing his face and his facial expressions really come through into the face of a panther. And also, we are developing at the Imaginarium, which is my company. We're developing Animal Farm, George Orwell's Animal Farm. So for instance, it's another great example of a real challenging of performance capture technology to see how an actor's face will come through the face of a pig, for instance.